Hi, it's Robin with Robin's Stampin' Hood. Thank you so much for stopping by my YouTube channel. Please make sure you do subscribe though so you can get future notifications of any videos that I upload. Today, we will be making 3 stinking cute Christmas cards using the set found on page 23 of the August through December catalog called Gnome for the Holidays. So grab those blocks and that stamp set and let's get stamping. All right, guys, so these are the 2 stamp sets we're going to use. Gnome for the Holidays. And we use everything but the little tree in there. And I'm just using 1 stamp set out of Itty Bitty Christmas. We're using the Christmas cheer, but I'm thinking you could probably use that as well. You would have gotten a packet of all the die cuts in your package of supplies if you've gotten supplies from me. So you could use that with the punch that's in there. So those are just some things there. So the first card that we're going to do, and again, this video, some of you have the supplies, some of you don't. So I might be talking like you have it because you've purchased supplies from me. So this is the first card we're going to make. Isn't she so stinking adorable? Yes, she is. These are all very simple. If you don't have this particular paper, almost anything could go. You just need something more solid. So we are going to stamp her first in Memento ink. And remember, Memento is what you're using when you use blends. So we are going to use some blends. You could also use your markers if you don't have blends, so don't panic, it's okay. So you're just going to stamp her in Memento. And again, remember, Memento is just for blends because then it doesn't bleed. So just give nice even pressure. And beautiful. She's so cute. Don't forget, you can use, like in my live classes, some of the gals took just the faces of the gnomes and the heads and they stamped them on the outside of the envelope and they were adorable. So what I've used here is, this is Mossy Meadow. That's the green that you're seeing there, along with Real Red. So I am going to take, this is Light Petal Pink, but you can also use the blend that is actually ivory that's made for, you know, Caucasian faces. But if you don't have that, you can use this too. So I'm just going to use that real quick and you'll see there's not a whole lot of difference on it. It's just a little lighter, a little pinker. And I like to use blends when I'm using I like to use like a circular motion. And you want to do her little hands. Cute, cute. All right. And then I'm going to come through, and this is the light Real Red and the dark Real Red. And also for her hair, this is the dark Daffodil. I guess I should turn it for you. Dark Daffodil. And if you've not used our blends before, the pointing tip you can see is the thinner line. The brush tip is the thicker line, so you don't have to keep pulling the caps off, trying to figure out what is what. And then I'm just going to give her hair some color. You know, she can kind of look like me with my little blonde hair. Put a little color up at the star. Oops. And then I'm just going to take the darker red, again using the pointy tip, and I'm going to just color in the ornaments. Now you might notice that she's got a star on top of her head. No one got those stars in their supplies, so you're just going to color your star. But let me show you what they are. So if you'd like to order them, you know what they are. So they're the all trimming embellishments, and you can see they have the little stars right there. So it actually fits perfect on there. So that's what I used on this card. But again, you'll just have to use your markers on that, or if you'd like to order these, of course you can order them as well. So that's what you see there. And then I'm going to take Old Olive actually to color her, oops, taking the wrong things here, to color the tree in. And if any of you have ever stamped with me before, you know I've told you that Stampin' Up! Has already given you the guidelines for where it should be dark and where it should be light by what they have put down as lines in the stamps. So I'm just putting some darkness along that, and then I'm going to come in with my lighter color, and again circular motion, and I'm just going to kind of bring the color in to the middle of the tree, making sure that I'm not coloring over my red. Oops, I did a little there. Did you see that? But I'm trying to grab the side of it so you can see the little bit of blending that's happening. Pretty easy. Okay. And then you want to come through and finish her little dress. I actually, you know what? I'm going to go and do her little holly right here while I have that marker in my hand. And I'm going to do her shoes, a little green there. Okay. And she's a little different looking than this one. I did this one a little darker. I might have actually used a darker green, but it doesn't matter. And then I'm going to come in with the darker red, or the dark red, and I'm just going to color in her little dress. And I'm not going to do any shading on this just because it's such a small area to work with. Okay. And then her little shirt. Make sure to cover up all the white. All right. And, oh, you need her little berries right there. And there you go. Super cute. She's a little different looking, so I don't want you to get stuck on that yours might not look exactly like mine. You can see even this one is different, and I've done both of them. So just keep that in mind. So then you have, and remember, you're making 4 of each of these. So you should have these die cuts in your little packet if you've gotten the supplies from me. And then we're going to glue this down. Okay. Okay. And you know what? I cut my oval smaller. I realized that I did that later. So you can see my oval's much bigger here. Okay, so the one thing I would just want to caution you about on this particular card is, so you want to kind of put your, just to make sure you have enough room before you stamp. I'm just kind of laying this down where I think it's going to go. And I always like to do all my adhering last. So I'm going to take my little Christmas wish, and I just want to make sure I have enough room when I stamp this. You can see my head in the way there. So there, perfect. So I'm just going to set that aside for a second while I put it aside. I don't want you to not have this down and then stamp this and it's way off center. So that was my only point of that. You can put this down right away if you like, and then stamp after you've put it down. It's totally up to you. It's just a lot of times, excuse me, people happily stamp quickly and then they've not centered it correctly. So I just wanted you to keep that in mind. Okay, so then we're going to take that and then put it back down. And I'm making sure I keep the white, you know, like you've done a little bit of a frame there. And then I'm going to take her and take my dimensionals. And you can see I'm one of those gals who cut the sides of my dimensionals so I can use them for, oops, I just fell on the floor, for projects like this. Okay. And I don't like my pieces to sink, so I do use a few. Because I once it's standing up, I don't want, or once it's, you know, on the card, I don't want it to sink into the card. So whoever gets it is like, what's happening here? So that's why I'm using more dimensionals than you normally would. Okay, and then she's just going to go right there. And then you will take your little red dots and we're going to just add them to the side. Oops, if I can pick them up, which of course, right? And right there. So there is your first super simple Christmas card using Gnome for the holidays. Okay, so we're back for the second card, and that's this little guy here. Cute, cute, cute. My tip for you here is make sure on this piece of designer series paper that you wrap your ribbon around it first. Don't put it down to the cardstock until you just, all you're going to do is tie a knot. There's no bow. You're just going to tie a knot. And again, don't put that paper down until you have your ribbon on it. So there you go. So that's all you're going to do. I'm going to trim this up just a little bit. It's a little too long on the ends, I think. And there you go. Beautiful. Okay. Let's just create the base real quick and then I'll show you the rest there. So this is the, I don't think I said that on the other paper, but this is the Whisper White thick cardstock. And I'm folding in to the mountain. And then this is Poppy Parade and Old Olive are our colors today. So you're going to lay your Poppy Parade down. And then you are going to lay this piece down. I always make sure I get enough adhesive right by that ribbon because you don't want it popping back up on whoever you're going to give this fun card to. Okay, so now you have that. So now we want to go ahead and stamp our little gnome. Again, we're going to use Memento because that is for using the blends and watercoloring. And this is one of the stitched rectangles or rectangle stitched dies. Okay. And make sure you stamp far enough up so you can get your sentiment on there. Sentiment. Perfect. And then I'm using the Holly Jolly Everything. And beautiful. Okay, so again, we're just going to kind of do what I did before, although I will take this before I put any more things into it. Always make sure you're storing these upside down to get the ink to come. You probably got some on the back already. Yep, I did, but that's okay. So again, I'm just kind of doing what Stampin' Up! Has already done for me. I'm going to make his coat a little bit darker. And this, I'm actually going to do the whole coat darker. Just because we're going to make his pants his socks a little lighter, just to give them a little different. So you can see that. Again, if you don't have the blends, don't worry about it. You can use markers for it. It has little sandals. cute. And now I'm going to switch over to the light color. And we're going to do the ornament light. And that light. And then we need his little socks. Isn't he cute? And then I'm going to come along and do his hat. And I'm going to come back with, we actually need Poppy Parade, and that's what these are. I know you think they're probably still the red, but I switched them out to the Poppy Parade. And actually one is a dark and one is a light. So we'll do a little bit darker here. And then, you know what, I'm going to do the little darker bow up here. But then I'm going to come through and do the lighter. So I showed you before the petal pink that you could use. This is the actual ivory marker. So I'm going to use that for him. So for his hands and his nose. So you can see the difference with the petal pink versus the ivory. Right here for his face. Okay. And then I'm going to come in with for his beard, and I'm going to use the light smoky slate. And I know I'm starting to run out of color with this. I need a new one. But we're going to go ahead and do as much as we can here with what I have. This has been one of my go-to blends. Sorry about that. So because I'm having that, I think it's okay, but what I'm going to do is with the dark, I'm just going to come in and hit up some of the spots that are a little white and like where Stampin' Up tells me to go, right? So there's that there. And then I'm going to come in with my Wink of Stella, which if you know what that is, it's the most wonderful invention in the world. Gives everything just a little bit of glitter. So I'm going to put a little bit of glitter on his beard. I don't know, he needs glitter on his beard. And then I'm also going to put glitter on here. Fun, fun, fun. Ooh, I forgot to do the rest of the holly, didn't I? And I just went over with my glitter, but that's okay. Whoops. So let's see, the dark, yep. There we go. So there he is, cute as a button, or stinking cute. So now we want to lay this down. We need some glue there. Now, if you wanted to pop this up with dimensionals, obviously you can, but I'm just going to lay it down flat. Since it's nice and flat, I'm going to go ahead and glue it down. And this is using the rectangle stitch dies, and this is from the, I think it's called So Sentimental bundle, the scallops. I might have put that on a little crooked, but there you go. See, and again, he's a little bit different than him. And I just want to show you what one of the gals at my class was doing, which I just love. So this is the one I had done before. So she took her little gnome, which I thought this was such a cute idea. Now do your envelopes, of course, but she just took his little face, but she just did this. And she colored him in, and I thought that was so cute. And what a great idea. And one of the other gals did that on her envelopes. So you're just seeing, you know, like they're like just little naughty gnomes. I think that's awesome. So then you could color that in if you wanted to do that too. Is that fun or what? Yes, it is. So that is your second card. Okay, so this is the third card that you will make. So I did cut, for those that have gotten my supplies, I did make a little bit of a cutting error on there. You still have the fun glitter, but not quite as much. So the first thing you want to do is you're going to have your regular size base. What I want you to do is score this at 4 1/4, like a normal card you would score, okay? And then you're going to come back and cut on just one side. You're going to cut off 1 1/4, okay? So cut off 1 1/4, just like that. So when you fold it, it looks like that. Okay, that's all you're doing. This is a 1 1/4 strip. But make sure you have to do your score before you cut it. Because if you cut at 1/4 here, you have to then make sure, oh, am I going from this side to score at 4 1/4, or am I going from that? So you just score first, trust me on that, and then cut off 1 1/4, okay? So then what you're going to do is you're going to come in with your white piece, which is, you know, a 1/2 or 1/4 of a sheet, cut down to 4 by 5 1/4, and that's just an inside piece for yourself. And I'm gonna do that. Let's create the base real quick. And then just frame it out. Okay, that's good. So there's your base. And then you're going to take your Pacific Point and the snowflake paper. I'm going to actually use this, I think. This one might be a little bit better. And I'm going to do this. Lovely. And then this gets layered on top of that. And again, you want to just frame out your colors. Okay, so there is your base. Pretty simple. So then you're going to come through with your stitched rectangle and your glimmer piece. We're going to lay this down. With glue. Now the one thing I cannot advise you more about is when you go to lay this piece down, make sure you're only putting adhesive on about half of this. Otherwise, you're just going to glue your card down, and you don't want to do that. Okay? All right. So I'm just going to flip that over. And then we are going to do our next little gnome. Okay, once again, you're going to use Memento because we're going to use the blends. I'm going gonna do stamp him. Beautiful. Again, I'm going to close that up before I put my hand in it. And we're going to go ahead. This is where we're using the itty bitty Christmases, and that says Christmas cheer on it. So all you're going to do is take a piece of scrap white and, oops, this pad's pretty well inked. So I'm just going to stamp it. Oh, that's not very good. So we're going to try that again. I'm having a whole lot of luck here. And beautiful. That's good. And then you're going to come along with your punch, or if you have the pieces from me, and you always punch upside down so you can adjust. Punch it out. There you go. Beautiful. So we are going to now color in our little guy. So I used a light soft suede for his shoes here. He's not wearing sandals, he's wearing boots. And then I used a darker, this is the dark Night of Navy for his snowflakes, just to give him a little color. Okay. And then I'm going to come back in with the dark balmy blue. And I'm just going to kind of do around the sides. You don't want to go into the dark color though, because you don't want to blend them per se, like you will with the lighter blue. So then I'm going to come back with the lighter balmy blue and color around the snowflakes. And again, I'm just doing it so I have a little bit of shading and a little bit of depth to it. And as it dries, it always looks just a little bit better. Okay. And you know what? I'm going to take the darker blue and I'm going to do his little outfit along here. There you go. There. I think he's got a little here too. I'll do that. And I come back with, oh no, I want the dark blue. The navy. Okay. Do it there. All right. So now I need the dark blue right across the bell as well. And then what I'm going to do is, again, this is the ivory for his little face and hands. Oh, I forgot his sleeve. I guess I need to do that. Those little eyes right there. Those little hands. I did this one, I think, right? I hope. There you go. Okay. Okay, so then I'm going to come in with the smoky slate again. We'll finish off the bell up here. And then we're going to do his little beard again. And this is the lighter smoky slate. I forgot I had a new marker, so I grabbed that. And I could actually use the brush end on this, only because it's a bigger space. I feel more comfortable doing that. Okay. And then I am going to come through and just hit it a little bit with the darker on the lines. Again, just to add a little bit of interest to his beard. Okay. And now, of course, we need the Wink of Stella again. And I'm going to do the bell, because, of course, the bell needs a Wink of Stella. And then his beard. I just make some sparkly. That's what I like. Okay. And then I did find when you put paper on top of the glimmer paper, it can be a little tricky. So I do like to use the glue dots to attach to glimmer paper. it does seem to hold just a little bit better. Oops. So if you've not used glue dots, you want to touch your project to the glue dot, and then it comes off that way. And hopefully I'm not going to transfer any of my ink or anything. So I've put 4 glue dots on there. And I'm just going to lay him down. And this glitter paper is the Balmy Blue glitter paper in the new book, which I love. And then we're going to put the Christmas cheer. And those are the 3 simple Gnome Christmas cards. Are they not adorable or what? Or what? So there you go. Make sure that's on straight. So there is your 3rd card. Pretty easy peasy, lemon squeezy, right? Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. And I want to show you what I did while you were making your cards. So remember I said that people did the inside? Look at! Is that cute or what? Thank you, MB, for that little tip there. So there you have it. You have your 3 cards using Gnome for the holiday. So I hope you enjoyed it and that you'll be able to go into your craft room and make these 3 cards as well. Thanks again for stopping by Robin Stampin' Hood, my YouTube channel. Please make sure you subscribe so you can get notifications of videos that I download, and happy stamping!